We are rolling.
Good morning. Welcome back to the conversation. This is Midlife Crisis Activities. This is our lifestyles and pop culture webcast, our daily shout out to the world. I'm your host, Patrick Russell. And over there is my very vivacious producer, Veronica. Together, we're here to lend our voices to the noise from a multi-generational perspective to help explain everything that's right and wrong in this world. Happy Manic Monday to you, Veronica. Boy, it comes around real quick for us, doesn't it?
Yep.
Bad story, unfortunately, for one of our favorites, Chris Cuomo, CNN's anchor for the show Cuomo Primetime, that pugilistic talk show host that liked to battle his victims, or I was going to say his guests on his show, to try to get the real story out of them. He was a plain-spoken guy. I really liked him because even the mistakes that he made, and he's made a few, he's always owned up to it. He's always owned up to those tragic errors in judgment that he's then immediately apologized for, tried to make some type of retribution for, and has tried to move on with his life. And we'll get back to a story in regards to an old employment that he had. Meanwhile, he unfortunately used more bad judgment, at least in my eyes, by using his professional position as a media man, a journalist, and somebody of influence who had the ear of the nation. Used his influence and position in contact list on his phone to make a few phone calls, to make a few suggestions, a few text messages, tracking down a few stories, to maybe discredit some of the accusations that were being labeled against his brother, the then governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo. And I think that's wrong. Because as a newsman, you do have to retain your objectivity. You're supposed to explain and convey the news and the events of our life as they are and not have an agenda. And I think at the very least, Chris lost his job because he lost sight of that, and he crossed a Rubicon mark that a true journalist cannot return from, the point of no return. From a younger generation's perspective, and somebody who really liked Chris Cuomo, from a scale of 1 to 5, we're not attorneys here, so let's just keep it simple. From your perspective, from the transgressions that Chris Cuomo admitted to actively engaging in the quest of assisting his family member, his loving older brother, Andrew, from a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being throw the book at Chris, he deserves jail time, to 1, the Easter Bunny. Santa Claus, those little white lies we tell, we know they're wrong, but they're said for a good reason. They come from a good place to help feelings, right? Especially with young kids. So from a scale of 1 to 5, how bad are Chris Cuomo's transgressions in regards to being fired from CNN? Your thoughts?
Probably 1. And, you said something that I want to rephrase. You're supposed to. I mean, in the social media, in the politics media, whatever you want to call it, you're supposed to do a lot of things, right? But I mean, if he was my brother, or if I was in the position where I can help someone in my family without doing any harm, because let's face it, I mean, whatever he did, Donald Trump has done worse things. And we are here, you and I, talking about this poor guy that is trying to help his brother, that in the first place, I never believed that Andrew Cuomo needed to be, charged for anything. So once again,
separate webcast.
Yes, but
keep it to Chris, because this is a very multifaceted conversation. Let's keep it to Chris and what he did that got him fired from CNN.
Well, I don't think he's supposed to be fired, and
wow.
I don't think what he did was wrong, because everyone in his position will do the same thing, because we have been proven to do so with other people. So it's been I don't know. I think we're just being hypocrites about this guy helping his brother, knowing that he potentially didn't do anything wrong, and then you and I criticizing Chris for doing so.
Okay, so I'm not going to canonize Chris Cuomo. The man is a real person who has victories and some losses, some wins, and some L's. In 2005, he admitted to being drunk at a bar at the time he was working for ABC News, and it was a celebratory office engagement at a bar. Got a little too tipsy, came up to, I believe at the time was one, maybe even his immediate superior, and had given her a hug and grabbed her butt. Unfortunately, in front of her husband, and he immediately answered for it. He apologized for it. He owned up to it. Now, at the time, he wanted to say it was more of a joke inside, clamor between coworkers that ended up with a kind of a, one of those football players or basketball players pat on the back kind of things that got a little too wild at the bar. Not sexual is essentially what I'm saying. Now, there's that. So it's the fact that he owned up to it that I'm trying to get at, right? Because there's now another sexual allegation that had come forth from an anonymous plaintiff who we have yet to hear the details of what her experience with Chris Cuomo, once again, during the time when he was working at ABC between 2005 2013, somebody else said that there was something inappropriate that occurred. But if it's on the same level as, cupping a butt cheek, once again, it's not assault. It's not crushing somebody's life. And the idea that this person is now only bringing it up through what we've read in media events, the only reason why she's bringing it up is because of the principle of how she feels that Chris Cuomo is so two-faced and hypocritical about defending his brother in sexual misconduct and the Me Too movement going too far when he himself has some skeletons to answer for. So we'll wait. But if it is what we believe it is, just another handsome, rich, entitled, spoiled white man thinking that he owns the room and got a little too handsy with somebody that probably even initially enjoyed the attention. That's the problem. It's never black and white.
Let me ask you something. So 1 out of 10, so you have 10 men in a bar. They're all getting drunk. How many men will do something stupid and at that particular night? How many men? 1 out of 10.
Based on my experience?
Based on Patrick's experience, how many?
Well, you always have the one person that's the designated driver that is drinking Coke all night. He's getting Coke for free.
So you're saying 9?
9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
Okay. So once again, I'm not justifying what he did. What I'm saying is that
particular scene.
What I'm saying is that if you drink and you can control it, you will do stupid things. And once again, I'm not justifying whatever he did.
Right. We have to break that off. This conversation is about helping his brother out of a bad PR media mess that was going to cost him his job, that ultimately costed Chris's job. That's what we're talking about here.
But see, that's what I'm saying, and I cannot put myself away from this because many people, including our former president Donald Trump, has done many things, worse things. And what? I mean, he never got out of being a president. He never went to jail. So I don't think that's fair. I don't think he's supposed to be going through that. It's BS.
Okay, so final note. I believe he needed to be fired. I believe that as an honest journalist, it's important to at least provide the semblance of an objective opinion. And the actions that he took back in May, most of them, clearly crossed that line. And for him to regain his reputation as somebody that couldn't throw out his credentials and throw out his standing as an objective journalism for what he believed are just causes. He's now lost that credibility. He's lost that benefit of the doubt. And I think as all good, credible newsmen moving forward, you have to protect that. Once you lose that, I think you have to deal with the consequences. Now, I don't leave the man dead and buried. I just mean that he lost his job. He's going to have to make some changes onto his approach, make some retributions to those that he felt got affected, including maybe even the accusers to his brother. Maybe he's going to have to do something to atone for that. But you have not seen the last of Chris Cuomo, my dear.
And then let's fire everyone because everyone uses their friends, their ability to help someone, and then let's fire everyone in the news, everyone that has friends in the higher place, let's fire them.
So final note, I believe that it's crystal clear Chris Cuomo separating himself from the sexual misconduct allegations and simply for the actions that he took helping out his brother. I think it was clear that he needed to be fired. Guys, there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer, but there is your opinion. Please don't just subscribe to this channel, even though we will be going back and forth, figuring out whether or not liberal talk show hosts lost their job for legitimate reasons or not. but lend your voice to the show to make it a whole lot more fun. Guys, it doesn't matter what comes your way today. It doesn't matter what obstacles or challenges that you may face. You just need to remember one thing. Give them hell. Happy Manic Monday, everybody.